Welcome. I am the FX Savant. In today's video, what I have for you is more than just one trade breakdown. I have actually a week's worth of trades to break down. Now, this was a really good week, extremely good week. 5 trades, 4 winners, 1 loss. The 1 loss is -1R, and the 4 winning trades ended up netting 10R. So subtract the difference, we come out positive 9R on the week. In 1 week, 5 trades, 9R. You only need 8 to pass the funding challenge, so let's go ahead and hop into what you've been missing by not getting in the FX Savant University program, link down in the description. But let's get right into it. We're gonna go ahead and go over to Telegram so you can see, you know how we do. Gotta show you the before, and this one is Euro NZD. We're looking at this setup right here. So we'll go over to Euro NZD, and as you can see, the trade played out nice and perfectly for a 3R take profit. So let's hop right into it. Real quickly, we'll jump back to the setup. And what I want you to identify in this video is how all these trades look exactly the same. These are the exact same setups that I'm taking over and over and over. A -1, the AUD USD trade isn't the same strategy that I used on the other ones, but for the most part, you can see that this is the same setup over and over and over. We're just being consistent. We found something that works over here at the FX Savant University, and we just exploit it until the market makers want to change what they do. And until then, we'll just keep capitalizing on it. But first, what I want to show you and what I hope you can see is that we have a clear and easy impulse right here. Breaking structure. I've talked about it all the time. These clear impulses are the key to what I use to trade. So you see on the daily time frame now, we have a clear impulse to the downside. We broke some structure, broke and closed below structure. What levels of structure am I talking about? Well, we have a level of support right here that the market came into, used and found support and used it to go higher. And then we also have a level of support right in here that the market came down into, and from here started to make its way up, creating higher highs and higher lows. This lower structure level is not what I want to identify. I want to point out that this level of structure was broken to the downside with no clear retracement. You might say smart money concepts needs to fill the gaps, fill the wicks, do whatever, come back. But basically that's the premise. We have a clear break of structure, and if structure is broken to the downside and it was previous support, when it gets retested, it will be used as resistance. We know that basic premise. So let's exploit this. We have no retest back up to previous structure support that should now turn resistance. So we can expect, since the market can't go in one direction forever, a retracement is probable. From here, I can't give you everything that we use to enter in on these types of trades in this strategy. So what I can best give you right here is that we've found some level in the market, and this is on the lower time frame. So if we look at it on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we found this level in the market right in here that we're failing to break below. We want to use this. We know the market can't go in one direction forever. It's due for a correction. We're coming down into these lows. Let's play it forward. I think we went on the 1 hour. Yeah, let me go back. What it look like? Boom, bada bing, bada boom. So if we drop down to the hour time frame, what can we see? The market has came down into this area and we're failing to break lower. We're creating higher highs and higher lows out of this area. So I know that my stop loss needs to go below this structure level. That way, if market does break this low to the downside, I no longer want to be in this trade because we're now making lower lows and lower highs. It's not conducive if I'm looking for a buy. So what we start to see here is that the market is creating higher highs and higher lows. And now that we've created a higher high and a higher low, what can we expect? A higher high and a higher low. So we found a good spot to enter right around in here. Previous structure resistance that broke into the upside should now be acting as support. And now that we've gotten the break to the upside, it is acting as support. And the only thing left to do is look for our take profit. We take our take profit from a higher time frames. So if we zoom out to the daily, what are we identifying? That we have this level of structure, previous structure support, retested should act as resistance. I don't expect the market to start creating higher highs and higher lows out of this. So I don't want to extend my target any higher than where I would see the market getting rejected and continuing the trend to the downside. Yes, this is a counter trend trade. We spoke about it in the last video. You can take counter trend trades if you know what you're doing, if they're highly probable, and our system is highly profitable. You can look for the counter trend trade if it's a high probability. And that's what we do, is exploit in this strategy, high probability setups. So all we have left to do is let this market play out. We found a favorable risk to reward, and over 2 Actually, this one is a 3 risk to reward, stops below the low, targeting a higher high from our higher time frames, previous structure support that retested should act as resistance. Now this is Euro NZD. We can go ahead and play him through and see what we get. Market comes down, gets close to the stop loss, almost hits the stop loss, and then explodes to the upside for a nice 3R. As you can see, that's why we put the stop loss where the stop loss is supposed to go, below structure. If we were to get the break, no longer want to be in this trade. So that is the first trade of the week. A little Euro NZD, a little nice 3R on that one. Let's scroll down to the next one. Break even on Euro Turkish Lira. Now we have Euro AUD. Euro AUD, let's slide over and see what we got. This one ended up being a 3R winner as well. Let's go ahead and jump back. Price is starting to come back. Really, we were right here. So if we take it all the way back, this is what we look like. This was our setup before. Now let's zoom out to the daily time frame because I do want to reiterate that. If we go to the daily time frame, what can we identify? That we've had a clear impulse on the daily. We've broken structure to the downside and failed to come back for retracement. What levels of structure did we break? Well, we had previous structure support here, structure support here. We're not worrying about this one. This is a little too far left, but this is our most recent structure that was broken to the downside. So if we do draw a line all the way over here, let me make it pretty. What can we identify? That we're looking for a nice and easy setup, coming back to fill in previous prices that were not once filled in. So previous structure support, if it's retested, should act as resistance. Market can't go in one direction forever. We need a retracement, and this is what we have. So if we jump down to the hour time frame, what can we identify? That we found a level in the market here that the market was failing to break below. So we want to get our stop loss below that area, because if we start to break and hit our stop loss, we're creating lower lows and lower highs, and that's not conducive for a buy position. So we have our stop loss. We see that we have previous structure resistance right in this area. Now we can look for our entry. See our entry, previous structure resistance, now broken to the upside. When it comes back, should be retested and acting as support. Now let's find our target. We want to take it from a higher time frame. So we're on the daily now looking for our target. We can see previous structure support, now turn resistance in this area. Can we make sure that it's a favorable risk to reward with a nice over 2 risk to reward? It is an actually 3R risk to reward. So we've banked 3R. We found this 3R setup, and let's let him play out. So we get a nice and easy tap into the T, sniper entry as y'all like to say, and then price goes ahead and hits the take profit for a nice 3R take profit. Now mind you, these are day trades, so we're looking for 275 pips in a day. We're looking for 173 pips in a day. Now that we've got our second take profit for 6R, 3R, 3R, now we're up 6R. Let's keep it rolling. That was Euro AUD, Euro NZD running 130 pips. This is our watch list update. Euro AUD running 80 pips. Euro NZD. There's my Euro CHF. Let's go to this watch list update. And we just gonna watch it. You feel what I'm saying? All right. Continuation to the downside. Euro CHF. We can look for the pattern completion. Continuation to the upside. Boom. Euro PLN. Euro CHF, we're looking for the pattern completion to the upside. Okay, now that we've got the proof out the way. So we're looking for the continuation to the upside. Let's go ahead and set him up. Let me run it back. What did it look like? USD added newly on the daily patterns watch list, where we can look for the pattern completion and continuation to the downside. Euro CHF, we can look for the pattern completion, continuation to the upside. Pattern completion, continuation to the upside. Price looked like this. We were wanting to see the continuation to the upside. Let's drop down to the daily. What do we have on the daily? We have a nice and easy impulse. This is where we need to be at. Price created a level in the market that it was failing to create lower lows out of. So we came down, broke this level of structure to the downside, and then from there, we have our structure support. Created a level up, started to move up, and even though we were pressing down, we were failing to break this structure as well. So we had a twofold type of situation to where if we see this level of the market get broken to the downside, more than likely it's going to continue or at least retest these lows, and I do not want to be along for that ride. So I have my stop loss below this level of structure in the market. So previous structure support broken to the downside acted as resistance, broken to the upside should act as support if it is tested. So I have my stop loss protected. We're looking for our target, which we take from a daily time frame. Went too far. From a daily time frame, and what do we identify is that we have some levels in the market or a level in the market that was broken to the downside. Now this one isn't as clear, it's not as impulsive as the other ones, but we still have the same premise. We found a level in here, created some support, and then we have a clear impulse to the downside. These 3 black daily candles are an impulse to the downside. So we have one level of structure broken in the market. The most recent level is right here, the support level. If we do go ahead and mark it up, what can we identify is that we've had price break this level, not really come back for a retest. So where are we going to look for our target? Our target is going to be previous structure support broken to the downside that if retested should act as resistance. So we have our stop, we have a level in the market right in here that is previous structure resistance, now broken to the upside. We want to be at C's. So now we've had our stop loss, we found our stop loss, which we put below structure. We have our take profit, which is right up in here at previous structure support on this side. Now that if it is retested, should act as resistance. So we don't want to go against the trend because we are counter trend trading. We just know that if the market makes it to this area, that it's likely it will continue the trend. So higher time frame, and then we found our entry by finding a level in the market, previous structure resistance broken to the upside. We just want to see it be used as structure support to help further aid this push to the upside. And then what kind of risk to reward do we have? We have a over 2 risk to reward, a 2 or greater. So that's what I look for on these day trades, and we're shooting for 37 pips. So nice Euro CHF setup. Let's let it play out and see what we get. Boom, nice explosion to the upside. This 1 hour candle came back and retested our entry perfectly, and then price never even tried to come back to our entry until it hit take profit. So another trade. See, they are correlating pairs. They're all Euro pairs, Euro NZD, Euro AUD, and Euro CHF, and they are all the same type of setup. So I'm staying consistent with the strategies that I use and taking the correct setups, which is a big thing that I see when people learn a new strategy. They don't apply the correct rules or apply the strategy the correct way consistently in order to reap the benefits. So as you can see, these 3 trades played out perfectly. 3R, 3R, 6R, and then this one now a 2R positive trade. So we can add that. We would be up 8R this week so far, passing any funded challenges with 3 trades. Now we hop back into it and we can see that next after the Euro AUD trade, we then was never triggered in this, which would have been a good setup. And then we had AUD USD. So we're looking for AUD USD, looking for this setup. Now we can slide down to TMCP2, the day trading watch list, where we have AUD USD, and we're looking for the continuation to the upside. And as you can see, it did play out quite nicely, a nice little day trade. So this was on a different strategy that we use in the program. And we're just looking for a nice and easy impulse to the upside. So if we do drop down, actually we don't need to drop down much. We can go to the 4-hour time frame and see that we're creating a move to the upside. So this is extreme momentum. We started, found the level of structure in here. We came to what would be previous structure resistance on this side, now acting as support. Once it was support here, came into it, retested it as support. You just want to see a higher high be created. And that's on the 4-hour time frame. What we did to turn this into a nice little day trade is we dropped down on the 1-hour time frame, and we're just looking for a nice and easy impulse to the upside. So we have a level in the market that was broken, previous structure resistance that now broken to the upside, should act as support on this side. And then once we do get that, we can see the continuation for a higher high with our stops below the low and a higher high on our target for at least a 2R risk to reward. This one a 2.2. And what do? We go ahead and let him play out. That was a little too fast. Let's go ahead and let him play out. So we got the break to the upside right here. We got our retest right here, retesting previous structure resistance, now turn support. So we should see the bounce come from this and a higher high be created. And then from there, we start to see the market creep up and then explode to the upside, giving us a nice 15.5 take profit for 2.2 risk to reward. So we're flying this week. Now I'm thinking I got the hot hands this week. I'm like, yeah, anything I call is gonna turn to gold. We just hit and take profits all day. But our first 4 trades this week ended up being winners. So we had a 3R, 3R, 2R, and a 2R. So we're sitting real pretty at a 10R so far for the week, passing any funded challenges. And then we go back to the original strategy that we won those 3 trades on, the Euro pairs, and we're just looking for a nice pattern completion. So this is on XBT USD. And if we do look at it, we're gonna understand that we keep it consistent over here. We wanna do the same things over over and over and over, which provide us profitability. We have a impulse to the downside. The market can't move in one direction forever. Where was the most recent structured level broken? It was right in here, which it was acted as support. And now if it does get retested, it's more than likely to continue the trend, creating lower lows and lower highs on this market, but it should come in this area and be acted as resistance. So we have our target on the daily. We know we want to see the price come in here. Let's drop down and start to find some levels in the market that we can use to enter in on this trade. So what we were really doing is going back one more. And what do we see when we drop down? We see that we have our stop down here right at the low, trying to get below some of these lows right in here, because if the price tests our stop loss, I don't want to be in the trade because it's telling me that my original idea is incorrect. So if my stop loss is hit, we're making lower lows to the downside. I don't want to see that. That's not conducive for a buy trade. We have a level in the market right here that did act as structure support, so we can use this to identify our entry. We want to get in. Previous structure support now acted as support again. So if we do extend it all the way out here, if we can see here that we've had a nice level in the market broken to the upside, we did not get a retest. We had a clear breakthrough to the downside, and we had a clear breakthrough to the upside, coming back for a few retests once it did break to the upside, and came back in this area once again and got rejected. So if the price wants to come back in this area one more time, I can see it being used as structure support in order to further aid the continuation to the upside. We have a nice and easy 2R risk to reward with our stop by the low, our target up there at the highs of the resistance, and we're just looking for this trade to play out. Now this is the last trade of the week. We took this because we were up so much and it was part of the strategy following the rules. And what do we do from there? We just go ahead and let him play out, and as you can see, price went straight to the stop loss, stopping us out for a -1R trade. But when you're up 10R on the week so far, taking a 1R loss isn't as bad as it could be. So ended up +9 on the week. A really good week. As you can see, even if we scroll down, ended the week, everything hit and take profits, and we started a new week. So I just wanted to go over this week because it was a really good week. If you gained anything from this video, please go ahead and do me a favor, drop me a thumbs up. If you stayed to the end, that's probably an indication you should subscribe to the channel. If you are not already, come over to the program and see what you've been missing out. We have a few strategies that we trade consistently and follow the rules religiously. And I also do a watch list update every single day, updating you on what pairs match our strategies that we use in the program. So you can go ahead and learn to identify these pairs and these setups yourself. I want you to be a self-sufficient trader. I don't want to be holding your hand forever. I want you to learn how to trade on your own. And that's what I think is offered in the program. But yeah, go check it out, man. I'll see you in the program, and thank you for watching. I hope you have a profitable day on and off the charts. And until next time, I holla.